the back. Chance now for Pickett to clear. He gets caught. He took them on, and he should have been beat.
It has to be ball.
But he wasn't. Socked off the ground by the Wizard, and he's answered. The Wizard has the goal.
So Farmer sweeping on a Pickett mistake.
And leaving it pretty open up the middle here.
17 points the margin. Robertson couldn't take the mark. Phoebe comes inside to White. He's 45 metres out. It's a high kick for goal. Coming back. Great goal by Jeff White.
Big goal by White.
There's 7 men in the back line now. The Demons, last time they pushed Neitz into the back line for the bounce. This time Schwarz is back there and they just run through on the play. He'll come through the screen here.
So Burton and White together, handball by Powell, then Burton pushes forward. Collins very hard at it, and then Woewodin's got hold of it now and decides to go longer forward. Can Farmer get a run at it? He's at the back, he got rid of Pickett, he's little left foot, it's rolling through! It's a second goal to Farmer. They were never going to get it, it just kept tumbling away, didn't it?
I tell you what happened to Melbourne, Jason, you call that a lot of play early, and the Kangaroos were bottling up their forward line. What's actually happened, Melbourne have pushed men into their own back line now and freeing up their own forward line, and the Kangaroos have said, well, if they do that, we're going to man them up. So at the other end, when Melbourne are bringing the ball forward, it's just totally open.
Yep.
The ball bounces into space. There's room to move, room to run onto the ball. He's coaching exceptionally well here. He's imposing his will here, Neil Danaher.
He's been big, hasn't he? When he has been big, you look at that. Only Lloyd has kicked 7 goals in a match more times than Farmer this year. When he's on, he is so dangerous.
At the bottom of the pack. Out it comes towards Uzebi, only had it for a moment. Burton goes wide. The Demons have got the numbers. They have steadied. There's no doubt about that. Kick by Phoebe up towards half forward. Past Bruce it goes, and also Neitz. The hand pass back to David Neitz. Here's danger for the Kangaroos. Woewodin is 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. And has this kick to give Melbourne the lead.
Gee, I know that the Kangaroos have some wonderful fighting spirit, but we're going to see it tested unbelievably here if the Demons hit the front.
He's been a very consistent player, hasn't missed a game this year, Shane Woewodin. There you can see Junior written on his hands. Woewodin. Melbourne, the lead. They've got it.
After James McDonald did his knee, Neil Danaher got in to play a video to the players, and Woewodin for the second time has written Junior on his hand tonight. It's all year, Collins and Cochrane, well done Cochrane, but it comes out to the Demons. They seem to have numbers everywhere. Rigoni to McDonald. Gee, Neitz was terrific. Should have got a free kick. Schwarz should kick a goal. Lines them up, and does.
Melbourne by 8 points in a big turnaround.
Johnson gets his first run, Ruzi. So, and Clayton comes on for Capuano, so he wasn't out there very long. They're looking for a bit of a run. Gee, well done by Schwarz to Grgic. Check side goal. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They've kicked 5 consecutive goals here, the Demons.
I guess there's no need to use your left foot when you can kick a banana like that, is there? Look, that looked to be an obvious situation to run out and kick it around the corner on your left, but he just felt confident enough to kick a little banana, and he did it beautifully.
They are just irresistible, this Melbourne midfield.
I'll tell you what they are doing at ball-ups and throw-ins around the pack. They're really blocking well for each other, the Demons midfielders, and that's allowing someone to run forward pretty much free. And a couple of times it's worked and paid huge dividends. Grgic on that occasion.
With the Kangaroos getting the start in this second quarter they wanted. Powell goes wide. He's probably looking towards Liancelli territory. Gets another chance himself. Can poke the Demons up towards half forward. Uze, the left footer, the loping left footer to the Wizard. That's exciting football out of the middle.
He's going to do a bit of umpiring as well, Jeffrey.
Well, that worked out beautifully. Once the ball skewed off the side of the boot and ended in Adem Uze's hands. And as soon as it hit Adem Uze, like a shot, Jeff Farmer from the goal square, he said, I've got space in front of me, I'll lead straight at him. And the ball got drilled in beautifully.
How good is that camera shot of the incoming ball?
For number 3, the Wizard goes for goal and gets it. The Demons answer.
Mark Harvey from Essendon made the observation during the week that Farmer's great fresh, week off, didn't get a goal 2 weeks ago. Boy, he started well here, hasn't he?
That's a big pack of players, Sandy.
Let's see who can take advantage of it from the throw-in. It is the Wizard. 42 metres out. Away goes the Wizard!
Change has been made.
Isn't Farmer answering the critics in a big game tonight? He's kicked 4 goals. He's been outstanding. Who's got possession? It's a kangaroo free... No, it's a demon free kick, is it?
Troy Simmons.
They're playing 2 on Jeff Farmer now. King is actually facing him, and Pickett staying 20 metres out further in front.
Walsh's kick found his mark and Neitz. I was going to say the Kangaroos have kicked 4 of the last 6, even with the Wizard goal, but Melbourne with a chance here.
David King's gone back onto Jeff Farmer, and the man that was picking him up, Guy Rigoni, is now being attended to by Byron Pickett.
Neitz' goal, Neitz. He's kicked 3 behinds. The other captain of the other end has kicked 2 goals. He's kicked it beautifully. He's kicked it home.
12 points the margin as David Neitz breaks the ice. He's got 1-3. And in front towards Makepeace. Now Burton's got to go against the smaller men, and he's not equal to the task as Leoncelli comes towards Johnston. Johnston is away. Melbourne is away. Johnston bounces his way through the middle. Gets past McCartney. Spears in the pass. It's going to be okay. Will come back again. They're trying desperately to set something up, and finally they've got it on the 50. Powell, 45-degree angle, chipping away. We'll have to go again. That was a little too short and not too pretty. Stevens couldn't take it. Leoncelli slaps it back to Powell. Powell from 52 metres. A long bomb by Powell is a goal. Is a goal.
Well, Andrew Leoncelli, he's not an absolute hero in the eyes of every football follower in this country, but I'll tell you what, he is one of the best midfielders going around. Sure hands, and his deft little touch on it after this smother. Watch Leoncelli come in and just tap it back to Powell. It's not a possession, it won't go in any stat book. Watch this.
He just had the line of the ball. It wasn't going to get past either way.
Yep.
Stephen Powell, he finally got it right second time around. he would have loved to have got a second opportunity at that after messing up the first short kick.
Stiff not to receive.
Woewodin got it in short. He's just stacking up, getting possessions, and then good long kick. Neitz has got it. Martin went to ground.
Bruce, you talk about Woewodin.
Neitz is on, right to the goal square. Uze's got it, and Uze kicks the goal.
You talk about the possessions. Woewodin, Leoncelli and Phoebe have 43 between them.
We see David Schwarz coming off for a spell, but you often wonder how a player finds himself in the goal square with no one else for 30 or 40 odd metres, and that's what's happened. Mick Martin slipped over. David Neitz looks up and he goes, hang on a minute, Adem is down there and there's no one with him. Cooey just got lost in traffic. He snuck down there and no one called the defender back to pick him up.
And now 8 Melbourne players have kicked goals. They have just one multiple goal kicker, that's the Wizard.
He's had 10 possessions, Woewodin, for this quarter.
Leoncelli plays on. Up towards half forward again. Melbourne have the numbers. Neitz starting to dominate. David Neitz on the outer side.
He's running out of steam, Mick Martin. He just can't go with him, and Neitz is sensing it now, and he's just pushing in for the kill now.
Comes inboard, Alistair Nicholson. Plays on quickly. I think Melbourne's coming in for the kill. Ward flicks it in towards half forward. Powell, off the pack he goes, and he kicks a goal. Now they're setting it up. Powell gets his second, and just maybe the banks of the old dam are about to burst.
And I'll tell you what created that goal, and Stephen Powell acknowledged it. You can see Russell Robertson in screen there leading for in the pocket. He comes from the pocket and he makes a contest here when it looks like it's going to be a mark to McKernan, and he comes, he pops one high, but he forces the ball down to the ground. Stephen Powell puts hhimself front and square and kicks a good goal.
For Woewodin here on the clearances.
It's the big margin of the match. The Kangaroos need at least one before half-time. 27-point margin. They're winning so many one-on-ones now, aren't they?
He'll get it again.
Johnston inside to Woewodin to Phoebe, and Phoebe goes to full forward. Farmer's at the back. He's got it. He's kicked 5, the Wiz.
He's angry and happy.
I'll tell you what, he got some great assistance from David Neitz then. Neitz just backed back. He kept backing back, and he takes John Blakey out of the contest by backing back so hard. And in the end, he may have been paid the free kick, David Neitz, and I think the umpire waved play on and let Jeff Farmer go on and kick the goal.
Mick's gone. Mick's just out of steam. He's brave, he's valiant, but Mick just can't push back any... There he goes. Mick's just come off the ground.
He's only played 2 of the last 9 matches, McMahon. Yeah. He's really short of a gallop.
Yeah, he's off the ground now. He just couldn't push back with the incoming ball.
The Kangaroos look a little dishevelled at the moment. Phoebe will keep it in play and does so. Trying to chop his way through as Daniel Ward does so with ease. The Demons have got the numbers, they could raffle this. Comes back towards Collins, takes the hand pass from McDonald, kicks towards half forward. McCartney came over the top, could have almost interfered with Cameron Bruce. Clever little toe poke. Powell, you can kick another one. He steadies, he shoots, and he goals. And they're hot. Powell has 3.
Well, at the moment, the Kangaroos are being completely overwhelmed by the run of the Demons midfield. I mean, if you were to compare the stats of Shannon Grant, Anthony Stevens, Brent Harvey, and Peter Bell, who started to come into a little bit this quarter, but if you compare those with Woewodin and Uze and a couple of the others, Powell in particular, who's starting to kick a few goals now, they are just getting dominated, absolutely dominated. Leoncelli, another who's getting plenty of the ball. And they've got no hope if they can't stop some of this midfield run.
McDonald slipped over, still had time to get it to Powell. That's a bad sign. Kicks to centre half forward. Schwarz can't break the tackle. Farmer, he's kicked 5. He hooks it back. He's kicked 5. He's kicked 6. A half a dozen. And there'll be some more.
The most amazing thing about that, I was just about to say, Bruce, that they're that worried about Jeff Farmer that their best stopper in John Blakey has gone back to pick him up. Now, he did a pretty good job on Adem in the first half. All of a sudden, Blakey finds himself at full-back or back pocket on Jeff Farmer. He's only been there for a minute and a half, and he's kicked a goal.
Yes, and he'd be thinking, welcome to the second half. 6 to the Wizard. Pickett runs into Grgic. Could be gone. Demon fans cry as one. Powell, the advantage is going to be paid. Powell's away, puts it out in front of Robertson. If it sits, he could be in business. Cleverly done. Tried to go back to Uze. Gave away a little ground. Can go back to Robertson again, and he does.
You know, he's worked hard, Russell Robinson. This will be his first kick for the night. He's only had the 5 handballs, but he's created a couple of goals with his contesting. He's worked hard in defence as well. And look, he was the one that tapped it out originally, then he created a bit of space, and it's nice to see him actually get a kick reward.
As we speak, Travis Johnston is back on the ground, and Russell Robertson.
He looks like he's actually lost a little bit of his spring over the last month, whether that's a confidence thing, because he hasn't had a great deal of the footy.
He's kicked 4 goals in his last 5 matches. He kicked 39 for the year, but he has dried up late in the season.
Here he goes. From just on 40 metres. The goal umpire does not move, and Demon fans rise as one.
Demons have kicked the last 7 goals of the match.
His way across the half-back line, changes direction, spearing it in towards centre half-back, and the mark is taken by Harvey. Not a lot on offer. Well smothered by McDonald. He gives it to the Wizard. Doesn't blaze away. Chips in towards forward. And the big play at the back by Neitz is going to be paid, and he'll shoot for goal.
Well, I'm not quite sure who the kick was intended for. Jeff Farmer chipped the ball over. It might have been Robinson in space as well, but in the end it was a little bit too long. There was a 2-on-1 for the Demons, but David Neitz, he just took the set.
In the meantime, Schwarz is off and Green is on.
Just saw the Carlton coaching panel, Sandy, looking on, and no doubt the Bombers are similarly, but Big Jack reckons tomorrow's the grand final. I reckon Big Jack might have to eat his words.
Again. Neitz. Almost directly in front. Didn't exactly have his kicking boot on earlier in the night. Started off with 3 behinds, but has now kicked his second goal.
Carey's gone to the back line. The Carlton coaching panel, by the way, have just left. But Neil Danaher's not. He's going to savour this. They're on their way.
to have the luxury of being able to rest those guys you can see on the bench now with the game well and truly in hand.
Yeah, the ruckman, the captain and Uze.
And Woewodin out of the middle yet again. Here's Shannon Grant defending. His teammate who may give it away to Powell. Powell steadies. The floodgates are opening. Powell goals. Stephen, you've got number 4.
He's played some games, Stephen Powell, 21 possessions now, 4 goals, 2 he's kicked tonight, and they could have raffled that. I mean, there were 3 players that could have picked up the loose ball. You have a look after the tackle is made on Colbert by Green. He's got Grgic right behind him, Robertson to the side. I mean, they could have raffled it.
4 goals to Stephen Powell, and that one was his 50th for his career.
And Sandy, he's got 29 of them this season. He's been one of the recruits of the year, coming from the Bulldogs in the big swap.
Matthew Collins has come off.
Right in the square. Schwarz leaning. There's another one. Oh, the youngster's done it again.
Got a goal from nowhere, didn't he, Green?
Yep. Here's David King. Oh, David. The last couple of minutes have not been memorable for the man wearing number 34. And here's the Wizard.
He won't like that. He'll want 50 there. He's not going to get it. And look at the space around the mark when we go to it again. Yeah, never eyes for the ball, Peter Bell, but pretty soft in the end. Yeah, right decision just to keep him there. There's a lot of space around the man on the mark, Byron Pickett, and Jeff Farmer normally would run around, but if there's one bloke in the league he won't take on, Byron Pickett.
2 in the first quarter, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. And now to the last quarter. Home, 1 in the fourth. 7 without a miss for the Wizard.
Yeah, go those Demons. Go those Demons. There's David King, who's just having a really bad patch for him. He knows it. And Farmer kicks his 7th goal, and as we said earlier, 5 times this year he's kicked 7 or more. Matthew Lloyd's the only other player in the competition that can boast such a record with those high numbers this year. So it's been a tremendous return by Farmer.
Melbourne came into this game with an unchanged lineup, a settled lineup, and the one-handed attempt by Robertson not paid. It looks as though they, at the moment, will come out of this game unscathed. Oh, Farmer clever to Powell. Very clever by the Wizard. Finish it off with a goal. Look at this. Bend it back. Back it comes. The Wizard is in town. And he'll be there next week. Centre stage. Oh. What a nice way to finish.
Well, he may not be finished yet, Sandy. He's got 8 to his name now. And you look, he was involved in that play a couple of times. He knocked the ball down. He got the ball back from Powell, and he's finished well tonight. He hasn't wasted any opportunities.
Clever little flick, wasn't it?
Bit of body language. He really willed that one in, didn't he? And then he salutes the crowd again.
Even if it didn't go through perfectly, he was going to get an angle where it did go through.
He's been sensational, hasn't he?
Yep.
This little kick forward, Neitz in front of Carey. Carey got hold of him, Neitz' handball away. Abraham, but he got it hassled away. McDonald to Phoebe. Phoebe goes with a little one to Robertson, got in. Good stuff by Melbourne. Keeping their head late in the game. Going to the right option. Really professional effort here by Phoebe, wasn't it?
He just held on to the ball until he worked out that Russell Robinson had turned Cochrane around and then came back at him with the lead.
And Dermot, you reckon that every goal Robertson kicks tonight is going to help him? Ragoni's back on too. That's terrific. Every goal Robertson kicks tonight will help him for next week.
That's where the real value for the Melbourne team is at the moment. Get there. As a forward line, they've got a few big cats up there, Schwarz and Neitz. Whether they need to use Schwarz down back line in the grand final is dependent on the opposition, one, and secondly, if Robertson can regain his early season form, it gives them another bigger option. He's not a terribly big bloke, but he plays tall. It'll give them another string to the bow above the head in terms of marking prowess. Farmer's going to be Farmer.
McCartney belts it, could Scholl get an eighth? Well done, Ingerson. Tackle comes on, push forward. Neitz' little handball to Walsh, to Neitz. Neitz through the centre. Good kick to Robertson. He's got him out wide. Can he turn Cochrane inside out? Cochrane hasn't got him. Robertson's kicked two, and he's kicked a third.
Well, as cocky as that sounds, I'm glad the kid's doing that, because what we want to see is his confidence go up, Russell Robertson. We want to see him enter a grand final thinking, gee, I am important to this side, and I've got a bit of form. I'm running into a bit of form, and it's made for me.
The good thing, they're all going to feel good about themselves next week.
Oh, yeah.
Just about every player is going to go in confidently. The whole team will feel good about themselves.
Should have made that one stick too, Stewie Cochrane.
And coming straight off as a result. He just tried to tackle too high. You've got to be a little bit closer to the hips, around the centre of gravity.
Other side. Melbourne through Daniel Ward has the last kick, and the Demons are back in a finals race. Back in the grand final. Their first since 1988, and a chance to win their first flag since 1964.
It's a good spirit there between the two clubs.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.